So if you absolutely have to get the shot, the first thing you want to do is make sure your lens is pointed straight down, especially if it's raining really hard. That's going to give you the best chance of getting the best shot on location. So what you're looking at here is the Phantom Rain Wetsuit, and we're taking it off of the back porch, and there's a river behind us. And I just want to, kind of show you that the drone already is totally soaked. It's been sitting there a few minutes. It's not raining that hard, but it's raining hard enough. It's a good steady rain. And I'm going to try to show you how hard it is raining using the Sony camera, and it should pick up some of the background rain. So now I'm just kind of lowering it down to the river, trying to get it really close with the lens to give you guys an idea of the kind of detail that you can capture from the rain hitting the river. You can see a duck floating by. There's actually going to be a lot of wildlife that I didn't even know was there until after we looked at the video, after we got it out of the drone. So that Sony camera is pretty good on its focus. So I'm just going down the river at this point. Notice those green lights, how beneficial they are to see in the drone. Also notice that the red, white, and black has a great contrast. It's easy to see in the sky. It's easy to see in the forest and the trees. When we made an all red one and an all black one, the all black one kind of looked like a bird, and it got lost pretty easy. And the all white one, that was a disaster. And we did an all red one, and even that was not as good as the contrast between the black, the white, and the red. So hopefully you can see the rain coming down, and we're just flying over the river. The river is going to raise about 3 to 4 feet by the end of the night from this little bit of rain. So I got it in sport mode. I'm braking real heavy. We just had a new firmware update, so I've been checking it out little by little, making sure everything is running the way it should. And here I'm just bringing it back so the camera can get a good look at it. And you can still see the rain. It's steady. It's coming down. Now keep in mind that we did a 26-minute torrential video, so this isn't really anything compared to that. But there are some heavy winds, and it gives you a good chance to see the Trauma 1 in action during the day, because the other video we made was, at 3 o'clock at night. So you get a good idea. Unfortunately, my camera girl, she's new to the camera. We can't always keep it in the lens. So we're just flying out there, and it's just continuously raining, and we're filming the river. You really can't see, when you look at the footage, the rain. Even though you can see it on the river and you know it's raining, when you look at the footage, you can't see it. Not until you get a drop on the lens, and then you can kind of get an idea that you're filming through the rain. And that only happens once you pick up that lens. So if you absolutely have to film, you just want to keep the lens down and then do what you need to do. If you want to get bold, you can lift the lens up a little bit until you're comfortable with the speed that you're flying and the shot that you're getting. So here I'm just coming back for her to take a good look at it. Hopefully you'll be able to see some of the drops on the lens. And for the most part, the camera shoots right through the lens, right through the rain. And sometimes it gets a little bit blurry, but nothing that's drastic. So hopefully it's going to zoom in here a little bit, and you'll be able to see the drops on the bottom of the lens. That's not an issue at all. So we're just going to shake those off you can use your C1 key. You can speed up that the ability for that to go down quicker. You can speed it up a little bit. Mine's a little bit on the slow side. Normally that's how we shoot. And it looks pretty good. So we're going out for another run. We actually shot for about an hour, and what happened was the rain turned into snow, and I'll show you that. And it was funny because when I was looking at the river, I kept thinking it looks a little bit like snow, which you'll see later on too. So just trying to stay within the visual sight. I don't want to get in trouble for anything illegal. There it is in sport mode again, braking heavy again. And now see, if you had water in the battery, when you went into sport mode, that water goes back and it'll short out the battery and the drone will drop right out of the sky. So if you don't have a wetsuit and you have water in that battery, which is really easy, you can get water in the battery after just 3 minutes of flying in the rain. So I'm going to show you real quick here. This is the drone after the first flight. Actually, I think this is after both flights. And I'm pulling the battery out to kind of give you an idea how this works. My hands are wet, so I got to dry them off. And I pull it out, and there it is. There was a drop off my hat of water, but that's it. The battery on the front, on the back, and inside is completely dry. And that's because of the seal that the neoprene provides around the edge. And that's what we were trying to do, was how to seal up that battery airtight. And the DJI seal is pretty good, but if you wiggle the battery, you're going to see that it's loose on the upper right hand side corner. And that's a problem. That's where water gets in. And that's on every drone that we have purchased so far of the Phantom 4 series. So anyway, here's a side view of it. You can see the 2 millimeters of neoprene. It's more than enough to protect the drone. This is a slow motion shot done in Adobe Premiere. You see, if you look close, there's a deer right there, but I didn't see it. I guess that deer was in a lot of the shots and I did not see him. So I was looking at the drone and not the monitor. I should have been looking at that monitor a little bit more. But anyway, this is after about 20 minutes of flying. It's got a couple drops in the lens. You can tell a little bit. But nothing, nothing so drastic that you're going to lose the essence of the shot. And that's what I'm trying to show right here. So there's another shot. Again, it's difficult to see that it's raining. It's only after I'm going to get really close to the river that you will see it. And then again, it looks as if it was turning into almost like snow. You can see these little white pieces. So eventually, within another 20 minutes or so, it is going to turn into hail. And then it's going to turn back into rain. So here's another shot of the river. Again, it's hard to see that it's coming down, but it is. Yeah, so I'm just lifting up the camera slowly here because now it's starting to get a little heavier. And you can see what we're looking at. And there's the deer again. And again, I missed the deer. I did not see it. You just can't see it on the size of that monitor. Even on the Pro Plus, I missed it. And I think if I would have been looking at it, I might have got it, but most likely not. But anyway, notice that that deer really wasn't affected by the drone at all. Here we go again. We're back in the sky. And I'm getting ready to pull it back because I want to put in a new battery. and I have a feeling that this is going to change to snow. That the winds are picking up and it's about to change. So I'll show you that. One of the first problems we had, and we didn't know it, was last night we were shooting at night and we forgot to change the ISO on the Sony camera. And it's kind of funny because my girl kept saying I don't see the drone anymore, and it was blowing my mind. How could you not see the drone? It's really not that bad outside. And yet it was the ISO. So every time I flew away from the camera, she said she couldn't see it. So yeah, that happened. So here you can start to see it's starting to come down now in little pellets. So this is going to be the last trip of the day. And cleared off the lens, started fresh. And I'm really just negotiating the wind, because the wind is definitely picked up. And I probably should have been a little more careful. I could have easily slammed into the cookout there, but I decided to take off anyway. And yeah, this is pretty good. I got the lens straight up. I should have put it down a little bit, but I really wanted to just show a little bit more of what it's going to be like when that rain hits the lens. You got two fishermen that are just doing their best to catch some fish. They were out there for hours and they didn't catch anything, but you could see the wind. So when I tell you I'm negotiating the wind, I am negotiating the wind here. And but still, the video capture is good. Video capture is fine. And here's another shot. I will show you a little bit of the Sony camera also, because it's kind of funny to see it. But yeah, those guys were really trying all day to capture some fish. And you could see the wind. If you look at the river, you can see the wind just rippling the river below. So let me show you a little bit of the footage from the Sony. We got 7 satellites. It's not too good. We're going to try to get her up. Going up in the hailstorm. So we got hail. Let's see how the drone reacts to some hail. Are heavy. We got hail, we got rain. Whoa! Alright, we're gonna have to get a little bit sensitive.
You lost it. You can't see it.
Okay, don't worry. I'll bring her back.